Electing the president is the most important policy in Nigeria and in any country, because the security and welfare of the whole citizens lie on the shoulder of whoever is the president, because he is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And the issue of security till now is on the exclusive list. So if this is the most important policy, the Supreme Court should assume original jurisdiction so that it doesn't need to go to the Court of Appeal. It goes to Supreme Court, and they should be able to determine it before somebody is sworn in. So presently, the judiciary can subvert the will of the people if they don't deliver justice. But the mere fact that they are not doing it before the person is sworn in, you cannot say that it is illegal. So the mere swearing in of the person before the court finishes is not going to amount to subverting the will of the people. But not delivering justice, whenever you now decide to give the judgment, is what will amount to subverting the will of the people. In the presidential election of 2023, it is obvious that the will of the Nigerian people was subverted. Now, the will of the Nigerian people is simply the sovereignty which the Constitution has said belongs to the people. Section 14(2)(a) is very explicit. If you take it from the subsection 1, it says Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be a state based on the principles of democracy. People always forget the end. When they reach democracy, they thought it has finished. No. Principles of democracy and social justice. Anything done in Nigeria, any democracy done, which is not based on social justice, is not democracy. Now, social justice is the system of how a people organize themselves. Then justice is condition of being fair to all. So when you say social justice, you're talking about organizing your society in a manner that will be fair to all. So our democracy was meant to be a democracy that will be fair to all. And if you get to section 14(2)(a), it says, it is hereby accordingly declared that sovereignty belongs to the people, from whom every government derives its powers and authority. You see? So any government that does not derive all its powers and authority from the people came in subversion of the will of the people. And the way people express or give power to any government in a democracy is by free, fair, and credible election. And that is why to date, the best definition of democracy is the one given by Abraham Lincoln, the former president, if not the best president of the United States of America. And he said, democracy is the government of the people, by the people, for the people. Of the people means that power belongs to the people. That's why one of the qualifications of anybody is that you must be a citizen of Nigeria. That is of the people. Then by the people, meaning that it's the people that will vote the person into power. Then for the people. The government is existing for the security and welfare of the people. And that is why section 2B, subsection 2B of section 14 says the security and welfare of the people is the primary purpose of government. Now, if your government is not derived, or if the power of your government is not derived from the people, the government will not owe the people security and welfare, because they don't need the people to come to power. That is why most governments in the world, where the democracy and the will of people is subverted, they are always lacking security. They always lacking welfare. They use the money to feed the godfathers, because the source of their power is not from the people, it's from the godfathers. That is why in America, where the vote of the mechanic is as powerful as the vote of the president, whoever is the leader needs to just maintain the welfare of the people and will be sure to become president. But in Nigeria, the people can vote, all of them, and one godfather somewhere will just use a phone call and say, this is the figure you will write. So they will prefer to use all the money they would have used on the people for that godfather. So the only way we can ensure that the security and welfare of the people will start mattering to the people in authority is to ensure that they come to power by the sovereign will of the people, demonstrated only through fair, free, credible, and periodic election. And I give you an example of Ghana. Since Jerry Rawlings introduced free, fair, and credible election in Ghana, their development has started rising. Their prestige in the Committee of Nations has started rising. Look at Kenya. Gradually, as they are getting their acts together in democracy, their development, their prestige, their institutions are getting stronger. But look at Nigeria. We are going down. By May 29, this government is going to bequeath to Nigerians 77 trillion in debt. It's going to bequeath to Nigeria insecurity of people, 518 persons being killed in 6 years in Zango, Kataf alone. It's going to bequeath to you people scarcity of power, scarcity of water, scarcity of fuel. The 4 refineries, none is still working. Yes, the private refinery that was started about 4 years ago, which they are saying the largest in the world, is almost coming to start
and even
working.
NNPC have got a share in it.
Good. And the 4 refineries, just to repay for 8 years, they are not able. And they have paid more than 30-something trillion, maybe, or 20-something trillion to foreign countries in the name of subsidy for what you're producing, or what you have the refineries. And they have spent billions purporting to repair the refinery, and nothing is working. There is no government on earth that will have that record, that will win election through free and fair election. But it happened in Nigeria. And above all, they want to bequeath a leader who himself needs to be repaired, like our refineries. He will campaign in the 36 states, one day in each state. And after that, he will go abroad and spend 34 days to be repaired. He came back and made 4 public appearances and had to fly back to France to be repaired. So everything the APC government wants to bequeath to Nigeria are the things that needs to be repaired, meaning they ended up destroying. Not one thing they can single out as they have performed well. Our economy is battered, needs to be repaired. The war against corruption is battered, needs to be repaired. Our election now, as far as 2023 election is concerned, is the worst in the history of Nigeria. The most costly, yet the worst. It needs to be repaired. And then the May 29th needs to be